Last month, I was on a call with a prospective client and it was shocking to find out that he had bought an agricultural land even though he was an NRI at the time of buying the land. Actually, it wasn't him, but his father who found the proposal for buying this land and insisted him to buy and just let the transaction happen in his son's name because son was going to send the money. Now, to son's surprise, he wasn't aware that it was a FEMA violation, and that promoted me to make this video. So if you are someone who did buy an agricultural land directly as an NRI, or who let's say owns something like a farmhouse or a farm for other purposes, or if someone convinced you to buy a land in your relative's name, stay till the end of this video because I'll discuss the legalities around this and the exact loopholes that can protect you. Now, we know that under the FEMA Act of 1999, there are 3 types of lands which are completely off limits for NRIs. One is the pure agricultural land, which is like any farming property, any crop cultivation areas or grazing grounds. Second is your typical farmhouses. Now this includes vacation properties on agricultural land. People might label it as vacation retreat or some investment farmhouses. Third is like a plantation, which is like tree garden, some coffee estates, where the agricultural is from a very commercial perspective. But why are these restrictions? Now basically the government wants to protect India's agricultural backbone from speculative investments. They don't want NRIs treating farmlands like stock market investments. But there are 3 legal ways to own agricultural land as an NRI. You need to remember that to own land, you have to either inherit it rightly from your parents or your grandparents who were sort of resident or non-resident at the time of passing it on to you. No RBI permission or anything of that sort is needed in this situation. Now number 2 is the family gifting route, which is through close relatives or let's say parents, siblings who are resident Indians. They can gift you agricultural land. But the catch here is that it must be a genuine transaction, not a fake transaction. That means you got into just acquiring the land. And the third type is there are some situations where special approval, which is again very rare and extreme case, where RBI grants a special permission for agricultural development projects. So think for like community development, not for a personal usage kind of or an investment kind of situation. But 90% of the cases, the RBI does not allow NRIs to buy under these circumstances. Now many NRIs think that being clever will be handy. That means I can buy this property in name of my brother, family or cousin, and that solves the problem, right? Wrong. Actually, this kind of transactions are known as Benami transactions. Benami transactions are transactions which are completely illegal under the Indian law. Real consequences including your criminal prosecution, property seizure, massive penalties and also possible jail time are possible in this case. So what's allowed is that you can purchase a land in your family member's name only and only if they are genuine beneficial owner of that land. They are providing their own funds and you are not the real decision maker in this transaction. Now, I don't want you to panic around this information. So if you have already purchased agricultural land illegally, here are 3 ways how you can sort this thing out. Number 1 is the reversal strategy. Now sell back the land to the original seller immediately. This shows good faith and compliance and also mitigates any future penalties. The second way is a family transfer. Now you can give the land to an eligible resident relative. This demonstrates that you have and you are giving compliance related efforts. It doesn't erase the original violation, but it helps to a certain limit if at all you are faced with any penalties. And the third way is a clean sale. Sell back this land to an resident Indian. The proceeds then go to your NRO account, which are again completely legal. And basically it helps you avoid any kind of scrutiny. Also, the important thing here is the time. Now, the longer you wait to dispose of this property, the huge might be the penalty in case if RBI comes to know. But there's one more option that could either save you or maybe it might not, which is called as compounding. Now, not the investment compounding, but the penalty-based compounding with RBI. This essentially means pleading guilty and asking for mercy for the RBI. Now, when should you consider compounding? For very high value transactions where you have bought acres and acres of land, there's clear violation and there's no other option. And when you have professional and legal guidance available, you can apply for compounding option. When should you avoid compounding? Basically where the transactions are sort of low value transactions and where other remedial options are also available. And when RBI recently put some caps also on the penalties that may apply. So in those cases, you can go for compounding. Now make sure that you never file for compounding without an expert consultation. I've seen people turn minor violations also into major financial disasters. Also, RBI recently capped penalties at 2 lakh rupees for certain FEMA violations to ease the compliance burden in minor things related to NRI bank account conversions, but this cap may not apply for buying of an agricultural land or that kind of a violation. The regulations are still evolving and the interpretation varies based on case to case. So also, if you're thinking about gifting, remember this, that you can receive a gift as an agricultural land from a resident Indian relative, but it must be genuine, transparent, with all stamp duty and all paperwork documentation done rightly. And it should not signify that you were the actually guy who sent this money to your relative. And also, what are the situations when you cannot do the gifting or receive a gift? Gift of an agricultural land to other NRI, transfer to any other foreign national, or creating circular gifting arrangement within the family. These are the situations where you should not do gifting. As far as transfer rules are concerned, if you own an agricultural land through inheritance or genuine gift, you can only transfer it to an Indian citizen residing in India. Now, the difference between a minor compliance issue and a financial disaster often comes down to taking action at the right time with right kind of guidance. So, if this video helped you identify any potential violation or learn something new about NRI regulations, please subscribe to my channel. Join my NRI only WhatsApp community also, for which the link is in the description below. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next.